Boom. There we go. Oh, I can hear TV now. Why can I hear TV?
It's gravy time.
It's gravy time. Cheers, Dwarf Warrior, for the subscription. And Forest Spokes. What's his name? Forest Spokes Gaming.
Luke. He's in the
Luke.
He's in the call.
I was trying to read what it said. It's me, goddammit. Oh, it says it there. I should have looked at that. Oh, no. Anyway, thank you for joining us on Heavyweight Gaming. We're an RPG channel. Shockingly, we play RPGs. Tonight we're playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th Ed. It is our campaign, homebrew campaign of Fables Among Titans. This is session 37, I think. We're going with that. It's now session 37. So we did sponsored by Loke Battle Mats, who are incredible artists that create flick out book battle mats where they're A3, A4. I think they've got A5 as well. You just bang them out on your table. Boom, you've got some lovely cool maps that are tundras and mountains and sewers. They've done towns and taverns recently, which gives you all your urban maps, and they've just finished, I think, their wilderness Kickstarter that has been incredibly successful and is exactly what it says on the tin, and there's lots and lots of wilderness artwork in map form. You can get their maps in digital form, so if you've got a DM's Guild, not DM's Guild, Drive Through RPG, DM's Guild, if you've got one of them, look up Loki Battle Mats. You can get some for free, some for pay what you want, and some for a fixed price. They're incredibly cool, and you can use them for things like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, and other virtual tabletops that you deem. So yes, go check them out. We're also sponsored by Coyote Grey. If you've got Roll20, go to the marketplace, type in Coyote Grey, you'll get to his little spot in the market there, and you'll see lots of chibi packs. He does all the chibi tokens that we use for our Roll20 fights. He's also recently done a Cyberpunk set, which I instantly bought and use on my Thursday Cyberpunk games. They're really cool. He's got loads of plans to do more and more and more, and is soon, hopefully, maybe, possibly, need to confirm, doing a little bit of a giveaway where you can win your own little chibi token designed by Mr. Coyote Grey. We're also sponsored by Ruffworx Creative, who is basically Jason Statham wannabe, dripping in oil, bronzed flesh, Russian heritage meets Spanish gazelle. I hope he's not watching. If you go check him out on Facebook, and put in Ruffworx Creative, you'll see. I just got their photo album, and you'll see some stupidly talented crafting being done for leather and woodwork. Nothing is ever repeated. So everything you see, everything you buy or wish to buy is one of a kind. So go check him out. Last sponsor of the Tuesdays is Ashana, and pretty much has been since we started, to be fair. She streams the same time as us. Sometimes she pops in just to lurk at what these lunatics are doing. But she's an incredibly talented glass crafter. She does lots of little glass figurines and such. They're so cool. I could just watch her for hours. It's very meditative. There you go. There's the word. Go check her out. She's incredibly talented and a really, really cool lass. But she also plays lots of World of Warcraft, if you're into that. So go check her out. 200 bits. You want to throw 200 bits at the channel? Boom. We'll give this lot a reroll. They can use it on all of their stuff except mine. They can't use it on death saving throws, just like Dwarf Warrior's done. Must be payday or something. It's payday and you've only thrown one setting. Shocking, Dwarf Warrior. Sick of me. Dead to me, lad. They can't carry them over. They can only ever have 5 at one time. And they can't use them on the death saving throws. We use Syrinscape for all our background music. So if you hear it, great. If you don't, let me know. I'll try and turn it up. We've just started using the Syrinscape online player, which means if you play over the Tinterweb, if you get all your friends to download the Syrinscape app, the online player app, they will have to create an account, but it's free. They can join your game, and every bit of music you play, ambience, it will play through. I suggest you start. Someone's watching something that ain't my boys, and it's coming through. So that's not me this time. So go check out Syrinscape. It's amazing. And you can play it for your friends. They'll be able to hear what you're playing, and it creates ambience and atmosphere and all the good stuff, the loving and the fighting and the stabbing and the looting. What else? What we at, Mel? Where am I? I've done sponsors. I've done
Tasha's.
Oh. Tasha's. Is that still going? Jesus.
Yeah.
If you go to DM's Guild and look for Tasha's heavier crock pot of bits and bobs. You will see an e-magazine thing, PDF thing. It is over 130, is it?
We're just shy of 150 now.
Ooh! Just shy of 100.
Seven short of 150.
We'll go with just over 150. Go check it out. As you can see, it is popular. It's been Copper Choice of the Week. It was 8th most popular when it came out. It's incredible. It is rammed with great artwork and great writing, all associated and compatible with 5e, basically. Subclasses, spells. There's like 80 new spells in there. Feats, all sorts of stuff. Just go check it out. Everyone that I've talked to that I know that's bought it has been nothing but praise, and this is coming from people that would happily call me a bastard to my face, so I trust them when they say they enjoy it. So yeah, so go check it out, and if you don't like it, but I don't care, buy it anyway. Right, what else? Where are we, Mel?
Got it.
I've done it. Yes.
No, we haven't.
No, no. What have I done? What have I missed?
No, just being a dick.
Oh, I hate him. Oh, really?
Mighty brave
Really?
of you, Mel.
Okay.
Seeing
So
we're
now-
about to go into the recap.
Now let's play the game. Now Mel's been a dick, shall we? And see, just see what happens. So I'm gonna have a recap. Let's see if this works. Let me know if you can hear it, folks. Din 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 din. You should hear lots of banging and hammering. Yes. Yes. Right. Need to sort out the volume on Syrinscape and we'll do a quick recap. This lovely bunch of coconuts are in the wall, quite literally in the ivory wall. Within the wall is pretty much city life. The wall from southern tip to northern tip is about 2 days trek if you were to just ride along the top of it. It is gargantuan, if not bigger, in the realms of Colossus. This wall was fabled to have been created by the soul, or along with the soul of a ivory dragon many moons ago. People of the House of Eagles and their province that defend the wall day in, day out, live within it, and everything internal to the wall is nothing but a distraction for those facing the horrors that are on top of the wall and on the outside of Ravenholm. I don't know how loud that is to you, Look, but it's really loud to me. Let's turn you down a little bit. There we go. There are markets, taverns, places of pleasure, gambling, exercise places. A lot of the families, for the different families within the House of the Eagles, they have specific areas that they get to train in. For a very long time, it was nothing but humans. But recently, or at least it appears that way, when Ari and Co got there, there is quite a lot of various other races and cultures that are there helping the humans do their bit. So the wall itself is externally an enormous fortified defensive construction, appear to be made from some sort of ivory stone. Within, it is a city of wooden planks and pulleys and makeshift buildings that almost are Tetris within to give it some sort of populace. During their time there, Ari has ignored the fighting circles going off to the right, was questioned, pushed through, pulling out the deception checks on his own party. May or may not have recognised one of the guards on the bridge.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It all comes flooding back.
Made their way into where the families, or like the ruling families of the House of Eagles, it's more like akin to a noble quarter in some of the more peaceful cities. And they went into the Rycroft residence, where the party sat downstairs and had a lovely meal and got to speak with Ari's mother. That was very nice and lovely. Ari got to spend a bit of time in his grandfather's room, just reminiscing, a bit of nostalgia, and learning of some fiends, or a collection of fiends, some going by the name of the Pale and some by the name of the Vibrant. But the fiendish, infernal-esque scriptures Harry was unable to decipher because he can't speak of it. Having then rejoined one another, Harry's mother had left without seeing Harry. Harry was like, nah, I want to see Elva, we're going to the top. So they went up to the Eagle's Nest, which is the lookout across the entirety of the battlefield, or the perpetual battlefield that is the demons and devils attacking the wall constantly, where the Eagle herself, the first Eagle and the second Eagle all reside. The second Eagle was nowhere to be seen, but the first Eagle had a brief chat with Harry and then booted him off the wall. Unsuccessfully, I will add, because Harry's a bit of a parkour master. Spun back round, at which point the Eagle was like, well, if I can't push you, jump of your own accord. And Harry did. To soar as an eagle, polymorphed into full golden eagle, soaring out over the battle and grabbing Elva from certain death as the fiends that she was encountered with were overrunning her squad unit group at that time. Putting Elva back on top of the wall, the eagle herself had gone. Harry and Elva exchanged a poetic conversation, which ended with Elva kissing Harry, then walking away. Harry's next step was to then kiss Xandria. Xandria then decided to flying headbutt Harry. Why, man? And they all began to rapidly leave the upper echelons of the wall and back through in a bit of a rush to, right, we're done here. They crossed over the bridge, they passed the training circles, and as they hit the market type flavour of the inner city wall, there was a tug on Harry's arm as he turned to face his mother. And that is where we shall be entering.
So the rest of us were walking behind Harry, weren't we?
So you're kind of in and about each other, rather than, it's not like you're 30 feet away from him or anything.
No, I just like
Xandria was ahead.
Andrea was ahead, I was gonna say.
So yeah, so are there some of us who might not realise that one of the party has stopped, or some of us like barrel straight into the back of him?
It's less of his mother grabbing him and just resting a hand. So Harry's not done some sort of judo flip to his mother. He's turned to see who the pull is from. So you are more than able to not barrel into him or see it happening, or if you so choose not to see it happening. But the only one that definitely would have walked past was Xandria, because she was about 10-15 feet ahead of everyone.
She was like, I am out.
I'm gone. I'm
solid
The
gone.
metaphorical lance. So, as you all see, Harry stopped. Xandria, if you want to make a perception check.
Oh, I would love to make a perception check. 22.
22. Yep, you are definitely aware that Harry's mother has stopped him. Cool.
I will stop.
Oh. To notes.
God, I didn't want to have to try and fight you to get you to stop.
No.
What are you lot
Harry's
doing?
mum has taken the advice that she gave him, so she's gonna stop and watch the exchange happen, just to see if she does actually, go off what Xandria does.
Maybe a little bit to see Harry get his ass handed to him by his mother.
Also that, yeah, there's nothing funnier than a boy being beaten by his mother.
Okay, different stream. What are the rest of you lot doing?
Whoa! Rude.
Becky, start beating Sam. No. Alright, she did, fair enough. Alright.
Is Sam, hang on, is Sam the ginger one?
Sam is the ginger one. He's just ignoring it and carrying on. Brilliant. So, what the rest of you do, just in this immediate reaction to...
Also stopping. I'd kind of hoofed it after Xandria when she booked it, so...
I walked with haste, I didn't book it. I didn't like go, you know, full
Like
zoomy
sprinting.
off the yeah, zoomy
Probably
off
not
the...
wise in your
You might
condition,
not
to
have
be fair.
Naruto run, but you were definitely walking with purpose.
Oh yeah, I was walking with purpose. The purpose was murder.
Yeah.
Ruby stops, but it's less of a I have stopped moving and more of a am I in the way? Should I stand against the wall? How much distance should I give this conversation? Am I seriously, is this a thoroughfare? Am I in the way?
What's
I
the
don't like it. There is
protocol?
no grass. I'm not outside. I don't like it.
You'll just kind of get pulled into like the rest of the group who are like standing just a little bit away.
Yeah, you're likely to do that to Sapphire too, because he's standing like almost to the side, but between them, he's like, oh.
I can't reach you.
He's literally standing there, looking back and forth between them like it's Wimbledon. Just waiting for it to start.
Hasn't he? Yeah.
So all you hear,
Hide now.
all you hear, Harry, is Aristotle.
Brother.
She stood absolutely rigid. Your friend said you had returned. Are you well?
I am.
I also said you'd seen Stefan.
I came back. He asked me to come and see Alba.
How is she?
She's okay.
Your friends are unusual.
They've been very good. Slightly defensive about his friends. So.
Oh.
I wish you all the best on your travels. And she gives you like a little curtsy and starts to walk away.
Mother.
Stopping. Yes?
I went into grandfather's room.
And?
It's weird. I had so many weird visions and strange things have happened. I just had to see. I didn't come back to cause trouble. I just had to see what was true and what wasn't.
And have you seen the truth?
Yeah. With so trouble.
Give me a perception check, Harry.
17.
17. Just over your mother's shoulder, there is a spinning white, like hot white marble, just slowly spinning. And then you hear a recognisable voice coming from deeper into the market area. You know it to be your father, and all you start to hear is "Move! Move! Get down!" And the bells start ringing all through the wall as the white, hot marble. You should all be able to hear some music. Starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger as you all start to hear the sound of buzzing, as if there are millions of insects flying all around you. You look, but there are none. The white hot marble is growing and starts to take a oval-like shape behind your mother.
How far away from them are we stood?
5-10 feet.
Seeing the marble, Ruby
You haven't
lunges
seen
forward.
the marble, Ruby. Oh, you'll see it now. You'll see it now. You'll see it now.
Yeah. But
Go on.
as it grows, she literally lunges forward with the crook and pulls the woman's feet out from under her, pulling her away from the marble and towards us.
Cool, give me an attack roll then.
That's not straight D20, is it? Hold on.
Yeah, so it's as if you are attacking with your stick.
Yeah.
Sorry, lost my character sheet.
Don't accidentally crack
5
her head
possibly.
open.
Because it's not. I haven't shillelagh'd it, so it is. A hit, I think, is a +4. Oh. If it's +6, if it's magical, it's slightly less than that.
What did you roll on your D20?
A 14.
Right, so yeah.
So it should be around about an 18.
Cool. Yeah, you do indeed hook Ari's mother under the legs and you pull her slightly towards you. Ari, where you look to the voice of the "Get down, move, move!" bells start going off. You now look across and you see your father limp, like running and limping. Clearly his right leg is not in a state to be running, but he's sort of doing that weird like hop run to get towards yourselves.
Dragging.
Yep. They get towards you all. Behind him you see a lot of the House of Eagle warriors in their tabars, such as running through, just pushing civilians out of the way and also encouraging them to shift. As you notice, you start seeing more of these white hot, you all start seeing them now, these white hot, almost portal-like things that are appearing up and down, some higher up on where the pulley systems are, some towards the market areas, and then where the fighting zones were, more and more of them. This buzzing of insects grows and grows and grows. Your
I've
father...
never seen anything like that before. I'm gonna presume
It
not.
is akin to travelling into the fair realm. Like, looking into that white hot, you can see a land beyond it that's indescribable, but there's clearly somewhere else on the other side of these oval portal types.
Does it remind me of when, going back a bit, Ulrich kind of jumped into something similar?
Very similar. Very, very similar.
But we also know that portals have been opening up closer than they ever have before, so...
Yep.
Before we kill you all.
Send the child to
Yeah,
bed.
that's a little fire demon. Don't worry about it, mate. They don't need to know, mate. They don't need to know.
To bed with you,
Thinking about having roll
children.
20 open.
No, boys, no.
And that was the watershed.
Dun, dun, dun. Where's that triple X noise gone?
No!
Oh,
So, as these portals start to open, and all this buzzing of insects, the buzzing of insects immediately drops, he says, with...
The ability to do so at his fingertips.
Yeah. Oh. Woo! And stepping out of these portals, you see they're about 6 foot. They look like the wyverns and the dragonborn and the lizard folk that you've seen before in either pictures or story, or even in the taverns when you spoke with the legatus. They are ashen grey. Their entire skin has a colour beneath the ashen grey that's on top of it, and the closer you see that this ashen grey colour is a thick, almost paste-like substance that has been completely put across their body and just cracking in certain areas, mainly where the joints are and stuff. They have large bat-like wings on coming out from their shoulders, behind their shoulders and out. They have these long tendrils, almost like dreadlocks, of thick, leathery grey hair, draconic faces, big teeth. Some of them have, is it quills? Like the mohawk types. All of them are wielding long swords, very similar to how the eagle had, in that it's almost a great sword. It's just a massive one-handed sword. They've all got similar, where they're a thin blade and then a thicker blade at the top. They've got that front to back knee joint where they come in as they sort of stalk out. And they're coming out now in all of these portals, and one comes out just where your mother was and swings its sword, but because of Ruby's quick thinking, she's pulled your mother out of the way. Obviously everything that I'm describing is happening in like 10 seconds. Your father is not far from you. He's whipped out his sword. There is a split second, Harry, where your dad makes eye contact with you, and then is immediately called to start parrying as these ashen draconic fiends just start slaying into people. They don't have swarms with them, they don't have other fiends, devils, demons with them. They're just these singular entities coming through. Quick scan looking around you, you probably see about 12, but they're all spread out along the way. You wouldn't be able to like run in between them or stabbing them all, they're spread out all over. The bells are going like mad, which tells you that there's a breach. Those bells, you can imagine, have been absolutely covered in thick dust because you've never heard them growing up. But as they ring out, all hell breaks loose within the wall. Can you all roll initiative, please?
I forgot to get really good initiative with him. Good old dexterous characters.
So, Cass, what did you get?
24.
Ruby?
23.
Andrea?
22.
Harry, 21 by any chance?
19!
19.
I feel good about my 19.
Sapphire?
7.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
bloody hell.
There you go.
There
Alright,
we go.
so-
There's the average.
You're a monk!
There's the
Super fast
average.
punch. I know, I rolled a 3.
There's the average.
So, this pale, ashen, draconic fiend steps out and as just swings its longsword at Harry's mother. Kess, after the initial reactions of Ruby, you feel combat upon you and you react the fastest. What do you do?
Cool. What happens next will surprise you. I'm going to go at it with the scimitars.
I will cast healing words.
Didn't even know I had that. So that is a plus. Sorry, one sec. Sorry, it's been a second since I did math. That is 24 to hit.
24
First
hits.
one will be with the fancy scimitar. Hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I don't know what you pulled out. I don't know if that's going to be good enough. That is 6 points of damage to start with.
Is this
but
your magical one or your normal one?
my magical one, but I'm also going to use one of my superiority dice. Is the target an aberration, fae, fiend, or undead?
It is a fiend.
Then it automatically does the full superiority dice. So that is 6 plus 8, which
14.
is numbers 14.
I
Cool.
don't like the tension music.
So your first scimitar slices through its flesh, and you can see bits of the thick ash paste fall away from its body, and then a reddish oil-like substance bleed out from beneath.
So the way that it works is it's dominant offhand, isn't it?
No, it's It's entirely up to you. It's entirely
in
up
my
to you.
head, I can be tracking.
It's entirely if you really
Which
wanted.
one?
If you have
I
5
know the
attacks,
bonus is technically.
your bonus is your
offhand.
offhand. But if you wanted to, for instance, if you had a fire and a cold, you could go fire cold.
Yeah,
or fire.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's up to you.
Yeah, cool. Okay. That is dirty 20 to hit.
No hit.
That is not as good. That is a 4. Let's just burn another superiority dice, because why the heck not? Which is another 8, so 8 plus 4 is 12.
Cool.
And then offhand is 18.
18 hits. Just.
And that is a 9 flat.
Cool. So you see Kess step forward just as Ruby pulls Mama Rycroft out of the way and just spins his scimitars into this creature. Red oily blood splashes everywhere, all over like the market store behind. A few of the, I said civilians, but a few of those working the market just get sprayed and chunks of this ashen paste hit the floor. Ruby, having pulled Mother out the way, what do you do?
I use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh.
Shillelagh!
Shillelagh. And I turn back to Sapphire, put my hand on his arm, pull his gaze like into really intense eye contact and say, Sapphire, move with haste. And I cast haste on the monk.
So remember, haste is a concentration spell, so you need to remember
Yes, it is. Until the spell ends, the target's speed is doubled. It gains a +2 bonus to AC. It has an advantage on Dex saving throws, and it gains an additional action on each of its turns. That action can only be That action can be used only to take the attack, one weapon attack, only dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action. When the spell ends, the target can't move or take actions until after its next turn as a wave of lethargy sweeps over it.
Okay.
And if I have then any movement,
You do.
I will, the woman I've just literally yanked her feet out from under, I pull her to her feet. Like again, back away from the monster. Not that I'm assuming she can't kick a monster's head in, but I don't actually know that she can, so.
You are now on another reroll. Okay, so Ruby's Druidic magic envelops Sapphire and then she steps back with Mama Rycroft. It is now Zandria. You are about 15 feet from this happening as you were stood to the side watching. Ares, whoever's shouting get down, and the squad of soldiers have engaged one of these creatures about 20 feet from you. Or there's your lot 15 feet from you.
Okay. I'm next to Kess, aren't I?
Give or take, yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to put my hand on Kess's shoulder.
You'd have to run up to Kess because he ran in to fight it.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
In that case,
Yeah.
I will run behind Kess.
Yep.
I'll put my hand on his shoulder and I will just lean ever so slightly close to his ear and just go, give him hell, and I will cast protection from evil and good.
Oh,
And
thanks.
protect him against fiends.
Cool.
Once I've done that, I will move back ever so slightly, and I will start contemplating summoning my lance. But I can't do that because it's an action, so I'll wait till next turn.
Good and evil, yeah?
Yeah,
Yep.
protection from evil.
Oh, I can't find that. Oh, evil and good. Of course it is. Why would it be the other way around, you bastard? Creatures at disadvantage on attack rolls. Cool. Target also got charmed, frightened,
Or possessed.
or possessed. They're charmed or frightened. Just do my job, kids. Just do my job.
I'll make sure that squash gets opened.
You know me. Them tops are tight, man. Should bring me a jar of pickles in a second. Okay, cool. Harry, Mother's just been yanked out of the way. Dad's coming down the way, sees you, turns, starts fighting one of these draconic demons. You've got a draconic demon in front of you. Nature magic going off over here. Warlocky magic going off over there.
He's going to step in front of his mother to protect her.
Stab it. Alright, yeah.
Because she's still kind of in the way of the thing that's
Yep.
supposed to be coming, so he's going to step in front of her. And yeah, pull out his rapier and try and stab her.
Okay.
Roll a different dice, shall we? Nope, why did I roll a different dice? It's a 15 to hit though.
A 15 does not hit.
Didn't think so. Okay, bonus action.
But your
with
rapier
phone-
does make purchase with the creature, but you feel a flex. It just doesn't go through.
Okay.
Yeah, not like that. Bonus action is when we're trying to stab it with dagger.
Cool.
You don't hit it. We rolled a 3. Where's that dice show gone?
It's a good thing your family isn't all here to see it.
I know, right?
Not even the sibling that would forget about it tomorrow. Like it's the two that'll take this.
As you attack it, Harry, it will. As its eyes turn to you, you can see that they're like pearl orbs. There's no pupils, and it just stares. Its jaw drops a little, and you just hear this: "We are the law," and it just tries to bite down on your face as a reaction. This is not its turn. Yeah, it might have missed. Give me a turn.
What a wonderful name they have.
16.
Hit.
Oh
But uncanny dodge, because I'm going to remember my reaction now.
You take 7 points of piercing
Whap whap.
and 2 points of cold.
Are they the law LAW or are they the LORE?
You'll have to ask for it.
Or are they the LOL?
no. We are the demons of LOL.
Anyway, so that's its reaction. It will now take its turn, Harry. Its longsword comes up high and swings across at you. 16 again.
Yep.
Ooh.
Is that another character sheet you're picking up here now?
You take,
Just read it.
you take 8 points of slashing damage and 4 points of psychic damage.
Psychic?
Yeah.
As if your mental state wasn't already fragile enough. Here, have some fucking psychic damage.
Just take me down to half my hit points, dude. So good.
As it swings at you with its longsword, its clawed hand will slash out at Kespion. But it's disadvantage, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
You jammy shit. 13. And it just rakes, but you just sort of cross-guard your scimitar,
gravy
sparks
time.
fly off as you parry
That's my
away.
brother.
It will stay standing in front of you too. Sapphire, you are sort of like shaking right now as everything's like wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, I imagine.
We're all moving very, very slowly.
I literally am
Quick
imagining
question
Sapphire.
before Sapphire has his turn though. If I uncanny dodge, that halves the creature's attack. Is that halved or is that?
I think uncanny dodge is any damage. Let me.
You can. I've got it on the sheet. 1 second. So it's on the first time I bloody use it 'cause I'm a dickhead. When an attacker you can see it hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to halve the attack's damage against you.
Yeah, so all the damage in that attack you can half, but you can't do both attacks. Only one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
I said it on the first one, so I'll do it on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first one. So
cool.
The first one was 9, so I'll half that.
Not a problem. Sorry, go on, Sapphire.
So I'm imagining Sapphire is doing like the anime ninja thing where he's like phasing out of existence and back in at this point.
Well, you've 200 feet to use in a 20-foot.
No, I'm just imagining that for that episode of Futurama where Fry drinks 300 cups of coffee
Yeah.
and
And everyone
he
else is
sees the
moving in slow
hummingbird
motion.
outside the window flapping really slow.
So what do you do, Sapphire?
Okay, so haste gives you an extra attack action, which means I've now got 4 regular attacks, and then I can flurry of blows for 2 unarmed as well for my bonus action. So
Beat it.
I'm gonna go for the
don't
nearest
forget to add
demon
2 to your
creature
AC.
thing.
The nearest
that's
one
good
is
too.
the
I
one
like
in front of you. Are you positioning
Okay,
yourself in an advantageous way?
Yes, I would be, because if Kess is already fighting it, then I'm
Well,
gonna
Kess and Harry are stood in front of it. So Harry's chose
Then in that
protection
case,
of
I'm gonna
cover
move behind
over. Yeah, so if you go behind it,
If
you
I-
have advantage on
Yep.
all your attacks.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Okey-dokey. That means I need to roll 12 defensive. Fantastic. So yeah, I'm going for my attack and my extra attack, and flurry of blows is 2 unarmed.
Yep.
And then I have haste, so I get another attack and extra attack. If I take an attack check, I get 2.
Yeah.
So,
Just
12d20.
do them one at a time, or at least.
Yeah, I want to do 2 at a time. I want to do 1 in its advantage.
Okay.
Each one. So, first melee attack, 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Second, it's not as good as a 14.
Misses.
Okay, so that's 19 to hit.
Hits.
20 to hit.
Hits. Is that your 4 Naginata?
That's my 4 Naginata.
Cool.
So 3 of those hit, I believe.
Cool.
And then key point to uncanny blows and then 2 unarmed hits as well. 21.
That hits.
The 21.
Yep. So give
Okay.
me your Naginata damage first, because that's obviously got some flavoursome stuff.
Oh yeah, I need to add some d6s in, don't I? I'm assuming these are fiends.
Yes.
Okay, so I hit 3 of those. That's those 2 and these 3. And then 3 plus 12. So many dice. 14, 24, 28 plus 12, so that's 40 damage with the Naginata. That's
40.
including the extra d6s.
Is that everything, yeah?
40, yeah, 40.
Yeah.
Of the Naginatas, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Woo!
the unarmed. So these are attacking with my unarmed, which are magical. If that helps.
Yeah,
Now
it does.
at this level. So that's 7 plus 8, 15 points of damage.
Damn.
So that's a lot of damage. Oh, hasted
haste.
monks are disgusting.
Cast haste on the monk and go for a cup of tea.
Guess who's become the focus of the creature?
Oh yeah, literally, I was calculating it up because I move at 45 feet normally. With haste, that's doubled. Feline agility, I could double it again.
That'd be 180.
And that's before any step of the wind bullshit or dashing bullshit. So yeah.
Oh
that's-
my god. So when I said you can't run around stabbing them all, you can run around stabbing them all.
So yeah, I'm literally imagining Sapphire going ooh, ooh, and then disappearing, reappearing behind the thing and just beating the shit out of it.
So Kess and Ari, as you in a blink of an eye see Sapphire appear behind this creature, you just see that Naginata like, and then there's some really fast paw action happens straight after some Naginata strike. This the red oily blood again everywhere, chunks of this paste, this ashen paste. You now see that the skin colouring of the creature beneath the ash does have like a white, smoky white grey hue to it, and is scaled, akin to that of a lizard or a wyvern or such creatures. You then see your mum gets up, she sort of rights herself, takes her knife from beneath her robes, and she steps back defensively. She has no interest in getting into a fight, but you know, you all live on the wall, you grow up knowing how to swing a blade. You look across just to check on old Papa Bear, and even with the limp, he's holding his own, and his longsword is battling with one of these creatures while several of the eagle soldiers are surrounding it, and they're all kind of just stomping into it as it's clawing and biting and swinging its longsword back. 2 of the eagle soldiers fall, but no blow lands on your father. All about you further down by the fight rings especially, you see a lot of the recruits and the veterans just sort of rushing for their actual weapons that were on racks or at the side. They're pretty much in no armour, they're just in their like training kit with wooden blades and such, and they're all rushing to swap. Except one who's in the middle fighting one of these creatures single-handedly with a wooden longsword, and he's turning the blade away rather than parrying to stop it. But he is dancing around this creature rather than standing toe to toe. Not bad for an old timer. More bells going off, more people running. You notice now that it's similar when you're back home for Kess and Xandria, that everyone in the tribe looks after everyone in the tribe. So when someone attacks your tribe, everyone comes out swinging. And you notice now that the immediate reaction is probably because it just never happens. But the bells have kicked off, and that almost self-survival brainwashing that's happened over centuries in the House of the Eagles lot just kicks in, and they all instinctually go and grab weapons and such as these portals start closing behind them. But that you still see a good dozen, if not more, of these large white draconic demons. Kess, it's still in front of you. Chunks of it are missing, but it's still standing there. It doesn't look good, I'll give you that. Hello, whooping!
That is a 17 to hit.
17 just hits.
17 just hits. That is 9. Will burn another thingy point. Don't need to roll that because it's a nasty. So that is 9 and 8 is 17.
17 damage.
Damage on the first one.
Yep.
That is, I hate counting, 22 to hit, and that is 4, and then the next one is 18.
18 damage? Or 18
No,
to hit?
4.
Oh, sorry, 18.
18
Yeah,
to
yeah,
hit.
I got it, yep.
And 8, 16.
16 with your offhand?
Yes.
Right, cool.
So it was.
Yeah, there you go, I've got it.
17 for.
16, half to 8.
Yeah.
The magical weapon you'll feel cut through. Your mundane weapon you'll feel resist but still do damage. It will then react viciously and try to bite you at a disadvantage. Oh, fucking 8. First dice is always high. The jaws sort of snap out and lash out at you, covering you in spittle. Ruby, it's now your turn.
How does a concentration spell work with a summoning? Because what I cannot see on my character sheet is whether or not Spirit Totem will interrupt a spell. It is not a concentration summoning.
If it's not a concentration, then you can summon it as it's just the spell that it doesn't affect. The only time it affects is if you cast another concentration spell.
Right, okay, so using a bonus action, I summon the Spirit of the Hawk.
Okay.
So, the spirit creature appears in a 30-foot radius. No, sorry, hold on. I summon an incorporeal hawk to a point I can see within 60 feet, and it creates an aura of a 30-foot radius around that point. It counts as neither a creature nor an object.
Okay. So
The Spirit of the Hawk. When a creature makes an attack roll against a target in the Spirit's aura, you can use your reaction to grant advantage to that attack roll. In addition, you and your allies have advantage on Wisdom Perception checks. Damn, I should have said bear.
But you said hawk, no?
I said hawk. I thought that meant we got advantage on attacks.
It means you can use your reaction to give one of your teammates an advantage on their attack, which is still good. Especially if you give it to a rogue who needs advantage to sneak attack.
So I
Rogues are already in advantage position.
halfway between Ari and his father with a shrill shriek.
This green auraed orc appears. Hawk.
Yeah, just it's see-through. It's clearly incorporeal, but it is shaped like a hawk, and it is clearly made of some sort of druidic
I'd love to do the
magic.
sound
Sorry,
effect, but it'll
my
sound like a
teeth
Whitby
today.
seagull, so we won't. Not quite the effect. Summon a Whitby seagull. So your hawk, that's a
I'd
bonus
be
action,
scared
yes?
I would be scared if somebody summoned a seagull. I will not lie.
How'd you chips?
Um,
So
yeah,
you've got your action and your movement.
right. I am thinking that everything else I might want to cast is in fact. So that's not concentration.
What are you casting?
I am going to cast Entangle.
Entangle.
Yeah.
I will. Cool. So everyone in that area is going to be entangled because you are in a market street.
But I've said it out loud now, haven't I? Is that the rule?
I'll let you change your mind because you've done this before.
Alright. No, that's
Also, is
concentration.
entangle not concentration?
Let's find out.
No, casting time, one action.
Entangle is a concentration spell.
Oh, it is. Right, it's fairy fire.
You tell me. It's in front
So
of you.
if you look on your character sheet, it's got the C after it.
Alright, so I'm looking at the little cards,
Oh, it should
and it
say...
says casting time, one action, but it,
Yeah, the
It's
casting
got a
time.
little C next to it on the next to duration.
It will be, yeah, with the duration. So it'll tell
oh,
you how long
duration.
also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking in the wrong place. So,
No worries.
no,
No worries.
fairy fire. Although entangle, it says up to. Oh no, it's got C. No, fairy fire. That's concentration.
Could still hit it with
Concentration.
We'll get there, Druid. We'll get there.
the Shillelagh bop. Shillelagh bop.
Yeah, it's probably going to end up concentration. Concentration. Daylight's no much good. No speak with plants. No. 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 Literally everything I have prepared, bar a couple of useless things. So, yes, I would like to bop the nearest dragon thing on the head as hard as I can.
Are you going to walk?
With a shillelagh.
Are you
I
going
am
to
going
walk
to
onto
move
the
towards
side?
it.
Are you going to walk onto the side Sapphire is? So you're opposite Harry and get advantage.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're just in a murder circle around this thing now. Just beat
Right.
it.
This one fiend is having a bad day.
Right, with a roll at advantage, that is a 24 to hit,
Shit, that hits.
and that is... which one's the D8 again?
The one with the 8 numbers on it.
Spinning, looks like a spinning top.
Like the little diamond.
Yeah.
That one.
Yes.
Is that not a 10?
Oh shit, yes it is. That's a shame, because I rolled an 8 on that one. Alright, well, 6 plus 3 is 9 damage.
And you're with your shillelagh, so
Magic.
it's magical, yeah?
It is magic damage.
9 damage?
Yes.
As
You killed it.
as Ruby summons the celestial, the druidic hawk above you all, and you see that ethereal smoke come out of a powdered green mist and circle around you all. Ruby moves round to the side of Sapphire and just slams a shillelagh into this draconic demon, and it sort of staggers a little bit uncertain as to what just hit it on the back of the head, and then it just boom, crumples to the floor. Immediately, it starts burning hot, almost molten, as the ash and the thick flesh just sort of crumble into one, and there is a small pile of burning hot ash, like flash burnt in the square that it fell in.
It's gravy time.
And how is that affecting the wooden planks it's fallen onto?
It is not burning through them.
Just about Ruby's already not sure she likes being inside. If the place she's in catches on fire, that's it. She's back off to the woods.
So, as Ruby finishes off this draconic creature, you look across. A few more have fallen next to your father, but then your father steps forward and plunges his longsword into the chest of this creature, and it does the same thing. It sort of burns and melts around him and the blade, not causing him any damage, but leaving this small pile of burning ash on the floor. Others are not faring so well throughout the city within this wall. And you can hear the screams, the clashing of steel. You hear battle. It's a very different sound to that you heard in the Fair Forests when there was no walls for the sound to bounce off and echo around. This is more potent and sharp. The noises are sharp and all around you. As you all look to see which way to go next, there is as something hits the wall from the outside, real heavy, and you swear blind it shakes your feet, shakes the floor beneath your feet. But you know that's it. Again, what do?
I run up towards the top of the wall.
Free
Run
action
towards
to
the top of the
cry,
wall.
right?
That'll take you a little while, but yeah.
Well, I'm running that direction, like, so I can see what it actually is attacking.
So you're going to
the
head
wall,
back to the Eagle's Nest.
Yeah.
Right, it's going to take you. You're going to be running through some stuff, so we'll have some rolls on the way. Who follows Andrea? Andrea
Is
just
there,
bolts
like-
past you lot and back the way you came.
Is there like a quicker way to like get to where like the sound is coming from?
Well, you want to go outside, so you can either go to the top of the wall. The nearest way to the top of the wall is the Eagle's Nest, because you walk to that residence area. There are other places back the way you came with more stairways and ladders and stuff that will take you to the wall. I mean, it's 2 days long. Or you can go the narrow bit and through the market area, and there are almost they're like gatehouses, but they allow you to go out of the wall, so you're lower down instead of upon high, and they get used a lot for like hit and run tactics, shock tactics. They
Yeah,
go
like
out,
sending the troops
clear
out,
it, and then they come back in. You're pretty sure that's where Elva was fighting, under one of those particular gatehouses that leads out onto a platform. But it is very close to the thick of it if you go that way.
What's my father doing?
He pulls the long sword, he turns, he limps real heavily, just grabs one of the market poles, letting the stall fall, and just starts using it as this oversized crutch. And he ignores you and goes straight to your mother, and they just embrace in a hug. She starts rambling as expected. It's quite loud around you, but she's basically, what's going on, where they come from, how did they get inside. He's firing back with, we just need to keep them safe, we don't know, just keep fighting, we'll sort the Eagles on our way down. And there's just that panicked, what's going on but don't worry sort of conversation going on that I am not going to do NPCs for 20 minutes.
God damn it.
God damn it, what do you mean? I said don't leave her over there.
The big beastie that was in the training field bit, has that been dealt with?
No. So they're currently still fighting with it, and the middle-aged bloke that was using the wooden sword to fight has kind of not limped but staggered a little bit out of the fight to let the recruits and veterans that were training dive on it, but it's still swinging and such. You see magics come into it now from around the area, and some are coming over that bridge that you guys originally crossed into the noble residences, and there are magics being thrown in. Some of the spells are quite literally, you see jets of green acidic arrows or small bolts of fire, and they're just bouncing off the creature. A couple do hit home, but you feel strongly that these creatures are quite resistant to magic that's coming at them anyway, at least in an aggressive form. But yeah, so that particular creature is still being fought hard, and there's a few others. There's one not far from the Soul's Yearn, the tavern that you stayed in before, fighting outside there. There's a couple more Doritos. There's a couple more further back the way you came, and you can just see clumps with these every now and then. These large white, like almost silhouettes in between. Lots and lots of other fighting throughout the wall. This is clearly not a focus attack on just you. The 12 you see, well, a couple have died now, but those that you see before you, there's definitely more along the wall, and from where you're stood you cannot see a couple of days either side, so there's a definite attack on the internals of the wall. Your father looks straight at you, Harry, and just says, "Not now, boy," and just starts heading towards the residence with Mama there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow Zandria.
Sandria's like, "Whatever, family reunions, let's go!" Got
I
me
was
a
gonna wait
goddamn
to see what
cutscene
other
to
people
see.
were doing.
Yeah, Ruby's plan was to ask her dad for instructions because he's a general and he knows what she's doing.
Is he a German?
Ruby defaults to who is the nearest injured person?
There's loads. What, in your party or just in general?
Just in general.
There are,
Ruby
there
is
are.
Harry.
Of your immediate friends and family, Harry is the most wounded. Quite clearly, the only one that got smashed in the face.
Yeah, but he's
There are
moving.
people.
He's going over
there are
to,
people around
Fatima.
you that like are just civilians of the city wall. Are you moving and healing? Or are you staying to heal while this one
and
moves?
she's still kind of like panicking a bit, but as she gets it together, she grabs the nearest person and essentially tells them that she is now a field hospital.
So you're
Bring
gonna,
me heal.
are you going to stick around and help heal? You're going to do
Yeah.
triage, yeah? Okay. Give me a minute.
If we're close enough to set the tavern up as this,
Well, the immediate
or if
stall,
we have
the
to get
immediate
through-
stalls in front of you, you could quite easily shift. I mean,
Yeah.
you're in a city that's built in a thick wall, so there's plenty of tight nooks and crannies that you can finger. As you start relaying that information, give me a persuasion check.
I don't have a lot of charisma. In
But
fact,
you are
I
beautiful,
have negative charisma, and I just threw a dice across the room. I really need to get a dice tray. 6.
The first person you speak to bolts, just looks at you like you're insane and does one. Yep.
Yep.
But the person behind them,
I'm trying to find my dice.
the person behind them is a female dwarf, wearing similar clothing to yourself, not the tartan, but the druidic wrappings, leathers, lots of nature all over them, with the odd belt. You know when you put the string through beads. They've got lots of these, but through stone, through pebbles, just hanging off their belt and stuff, and some in their hair, and some in her beard. What you have noticed, especially through the dwarves and the clans, is the only difference between the dwarves is those with tashes call themselves blokes, those without tashes call themselves females. Just how the dwarves are. So you see the female dwarf in front of you, she comes rushing over, she understands. What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? I'm here, I'm yours. What do you need me to do?
The conversation immediately turns to druidic because there's presumably a lot of cross conversation going on, like with people calling to each other.
You start speaking the language of druidic, and you can see recognition instantly. She understands it.
Yeah. We need space. We need medical supplies.
Done and done. And she starts moving quite easily. Thick forearms. Just starts moving the stuff out of the way and creating an almost alcove horseshoe in this area. A few
jumps in behind, also moving things.
She calls out, and a couple more dwarves come rushing down. Same again. They've got that almost mountain druid look about them, and they start helping her. She's giving them commands in Dwarven to sort the area out. So while Ruby stays there to do triage, are you lot following Zandria?
Yep.
So you all start
Yeah,
bolting down after Zandria. Zandria's clearly going spearing for the bridge. You lot follow, yeah?
Yep.
Harry, I just need to know if you stop. As you run past,
Yeah, as he goes, because he has to go past the fighting grounds anyway, doesn't he? To
You will do,
follow
yeah.
Andrea, so
but you'd have to
he's
go
gonna-
out of your way to speak to him if you wanted to. Because he's not in your direct path.
Yeah, he will.
Do you run over?
Yeah.
Cool. Yes!
got me.
Fishing. So you, Xandria, Kess, and Sapphire. Sapphire's sort of doing that weird. I run super fast, but I've got to walk just to keep pace with you guys as the, you know. How long does haste last? Ruby?
Haste lasts for a minute, but it only has a range of 30 feet. I don't know if that's casting or if I can.
That's for you casting.
Or if I can
So
only maintain
by the time you get to the bridge, Sapphire will have worn off. Yep.
And you will then have a wave of lethargy.
Yeah.
Does it give you a level of exhaustion, or do you just roleplay being tired?
No, you just have to wait until after your next turn to start doing stuff again.
Yeah, you get a turn without.
Okay.
He'll move really fast and stand very still, waiting for everyone to catch up.
Yeah, fair enough. So as you guys get to the bridge, you notice Harry goes running off to the right, towards where this creature is getting now on the losing end of its fight with the trainees and such. And Harry runs straight over to the middle-aged guy that stood there. Harry, as you approach, yeah, let me scroll.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I've lost it. Lost it years ago.
I'm changing the music. Oh no.
That's where the concern happens.
As you approach, only difference from the last time you saw your instructor, tutor, friend, lover, Nekulai Dalka is a decade of years. But even then, the only definitive change is the salt and pepper flashes in the sideburns and a little bit in the quiff at the front as his hair is jet black everywhere else, oiled and kind of combed over. As soon as you approach, he's kind of got his back half to you as he's watching the fight. He straightens himself, focuses his breathing, he turns, sees you, beaming smile across his face. The first time you saw that smile, you fell in love with it. He drops to a knee, does a exaggerated flourish, curtsy / bow, and little eagle, oh, my heart soars for you. And he stands up and he leans in and he kisses you on each cheek.
Kisses him back on each cheek.
You need to wind it in.
On the cheek.
So many people you've kissed today. God.
He then
Making up for the month.
he then holds your hand and spins you like in a dance.
This is not the time.
Does anyone else get why Ari maybe left the wall?
Yeah, what did you do at Christmas, Ari?
Chilled out with a tin of Stella in front of the TV, just fucking nobody talk to me. Red Bull, that's all you need. Red Bull and honey.
Yeah,
So,
Red Bull.
yeah, what do you say?
I'll kind of meet his eyes, kind of wink at him, and just be like, "You're doing well for yourself."
I am indeed. Look, and he points across to the creature getting absolutely dominated by those he were training not so long ago. Foul beasts beyond the wall. But look at the beautiful dance it does. Do you still dance, Harry?
I'm laughing at you.
It's Fantonio Banderas.
Fantonio!
Fantonio. Oh, Fantonio.
If he ever sees this, he's going to put a hit out on me, you know that, don't you?
Yeah.
We had to have some kind of interaction. He kind
In
of
the
just.
middle of us. Like,
Yep. Yep.
When you're that good. You know what I mean?
He just kind of smiles and it's good to see you again. And then
It's always good to see me.
keeps on running.
Maybe next time, Harry!
Maybe.
And then, as you look over your shoulder, you see him just sort of shake his head a little bit with a smile. Aha! And he rushes into the fight with his trainees. Still with a wooden sword. Fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Going over the bridge, you see soldiers coming towards you now, rushing back into the fray, as it were. Going into where the courtyard was, and it led off to all the different residences of the families. You see soldiers that are like
gravy
running
time.
down and then through out the other side, beyond where the tall staircase was that takes you up. It's now quite busy, a lot busier when you first came here. You run towards the staircase, and as you are going up it, in front of you there's also somebody going up it. Ari, you see the blonde head, which is stupidly rare for those of Ravenholm. Incredibly long, blonde. It's braided and tied to keep out of her way. This very charming face. It's not beautiful, not beautiful, but there is a charm about her as she looks down to see you all following. Her eyes are hazel, but there are minor scars across all around her eyes, on the cheeks and on the forehead. She is tall, powerfully built. She's got a great sword on her back. This truly is a great sword. And she is taking the steps 2 or 3 at a time as she's just running up the stairs in front of you. Ari, you see Celestina Torj, aka the Second Eagle, also known as the Ivory Angel. You start chasing up after her. She, other than the look, ignores. You all eventually get to the top. Sounds of battle have kind of dimmed, or at least the battle within the wall beneath you has dimmed. But as you come out onto the top, the smell of burnt, acidic, just taste in the air, that like copper and thinky feel on your tongue. You look out and you cannot believe what you see. Before you've even looked over the edge, on top of the wall, you see more of these creatures. But from where you're standing, some of them are bigger, some of them are more narrow, all with this ashen, crazy, like thick ash paste across them. You see that beneath where the wounds are coming in and the fights are happening, you can see soldiers all along the wall. It's hard to judge how far along the wall, but you see Iona Lacusta, the eagle herself, just laying waste to. There's minions up on the wall with these creatures, small demons, imps, barbed devils, the hounds of hell like the Bargas are all running along the wall. They are just destroying, they're winning quite easily at the top of the wall. Soldiers are just getting absolutely rinsed. This attack, like, it's unknown, it's unheard of to you, Harry. That the fact that the fiends are on the wall, not attacking the wall and getting met by, you know, the true eagle force. They're actually on top of the wall, winning. The large draconic demon creatures, you see their skin tones of this white grey colouring beneath the ash, blacks, blues, greens. They're just all different flavours of these these draconic demons. And this thick ash across them. You're looking around for Elva. You can't see her, but you hear her. And as you step forward to see where the sound is coming from, and it is now down on a ledge, which is where you first went down as the eagle, and it's about 70 feet diagonally to your right, on a different ledge. But there's a ramp that goes down, and she's got a load of the soldiers with her. She's stood there spearheading this attack. Attacking her, there are these streams of rainbows, actual rainbows going from the ground up about 60 feet, and they sort of arch to meet the platform that Elva's on. Rushing up is these the creatures themselves. You don't know if it's the colouring of the rainbow backed against them or the skin themselves, but they have that, you know, when you water and oil mix outside a petrol station and you get that like multicoloured rainbowy marble effect in the oil. Yeah, that's what they look like. They look like they've been dipped in it, and they are hunched, ape-like, like bounding on their knuckles, bones sticking out at their elbows and at their knuckles, thorns and spines coming out of the back like real long, really long braids of hair all the way down, and then reaching out like about 6 feet behind them as spiked tails. And they've got this kaleidoscopic colouring across them as they're just bounding up, screeching and howling as they dive into Elva's forces. The large boom, boom look out now on the battlefield at the bottom of the wall, slamming into the wall just along it. Some are being peppered by some of the soldiers coming out of the wall and fighting them. Some where there's breathing space, they're shooting down. Magics are getting thrown down at them. Bows, arrows, probably should throw your bow at them, it's not going to do a lot. Shooting arrows at them, throwing spears, everything's getting thrown. These creatures must stand 20 feet high, incredibly heavy set, large bat-like wings out beneath them, all wielding these huge, like obsidian coloured sledgehammers, and they're just slamming the wall. I need you all to give me a wisdom save, please, as a piercing, painful, draconic screech echoes out across for miles around.
Theoretically.
Can I hear that inside the wall?
You will, yes.
Do I need to...
You need to do a wisdom save as well, and you'll notice that everyone around you, immediately, some clutch their ears, some kind of shake it off, but there is a loud, painful screech, draconic in nature. Caspian, what did you get?
That is a dirty 20, and we're now up to 4 rerolls.
Oh, thank
because
you.
people clearly think
Thank God.
we're gonna need it.
21.
Zandria, 20. Ruby, 21. Cass, 20. Zandria,
24.
24. Ari.
8.
Oh my.
Do you want to use one of those
One of
rerolls?
these
Four
rerolls.
While you're re-rolling, Sapphire,
8.
you want to
Do you
re-roll?
want to use one of those rerolls?
We can't
If
use
it's
them on death
okay.
saves anyway, so you might as well use them now.
That's a
Oh,
17.
That's a lot. Well, 15?
15. For those that got 15 and above, the piercing, painful screech that
Gravy time.
shoots through your very core being. You all reach for your ears, and you all sort of half crouch squat, almost taken to your knees. Just the wave of emotion and pain that whatever this creature is feeling, it hits you all, and you see all like a ripple across the top of the wall. Soldiers reaching for their ears. Some of the demons themselves sort of back off and howl and screech and roar to the sky themselves. This painful screech has affected everybody. Quickly followed by the loud tumbling of rock and stone like a landslide. And you notice now, as the screeching kind of wears off, you notice now that parts of the wall have actually cracked. This is an unbreakable wall, Harry. Never have the fiends made a mark upon the ivory stone of the House of Eagles. But these large demonic creatures, their heads, they look like they've got the square jaw of the Dragonborn, and they look like 20 feet bipedal dragons. They look like massive Dragonborn, and they're smashing the wall with these obsidian hammers all along the wall. You notice further back into the battlefield the portals that have always been there, eternally there, never gone away in all your lifetime, always been there through the stories. These tears in the material realm that lead to the demonic planes are larger and bigger, and you see now a thick swarming of creatures coming out of them, a good day away. Some of them that you can still see. That's how big the swarms are coming out. Just these colourful waves of. It looks like a flowing river of death coming out of the thing. Or you might think it's cool, but it's bad. It's bad.
Ed.
Alva's down below you fighting. The eagle's off to your left. Celestina, as she came up the thing, and you guys are all this, she's literally leapt off the wall. And as you're kind of looking down to see Elva, you see great golden wings, like angel wings, pop out. I say pop out. They sort of are summoned rather than unfurl. And she swoops down, and she's going off past Elva to deal with some of the creatures herself. She looks like she's going in the direction of one of the huge hammer beasts.
I'm
3, 2, 1, go.
going to call in my favour.
I didn't say that. So go in. Give me a... How? How?
I have no idea. It's just like, oh
Do it like
Do it,
Monkey
yeah.
calls for his cloud in the TV show and just
Oh, monkey.
monkey.
Ah, pixie.
That was worth it for the confusion on Luke's face.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Looks like, what the fuck is monkey?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're referencing.
Yeah, I do.
I think he's just gonna. Well, there was no specific way that he was told to contact, except to call on them when he needed aid. So give me a sec. I think he'll just literally, because he is nothing if not obsessively literal in how he does everything. He will just shout.
I was gonna say, if Kess makes this plan verbal, then Xandria has a horn on her.
Look,
I can play a
Not the horn, just a horn.
Not the horn, but
Yeah.
Xandria
That'd be
has a
brilliant.
horn.
So Sandra went
yeah,
on a
why
side
did you get the
quest,
useful
so-
instrument? How are you sitting there with a horn? I'm sitting with a fucking loot strapped to my back. This is
Because
useless.
a horn was an option, and I was like, yeah, I'll take a fucking horn.
While the
Sure,
siblings
Luke
are
remembers he
arguing,
has a-
The horn is how
Luke gets
Xandria
his
wakes
bow.
people up in the morning.
can you give me a medicine check, please, Ruby, while we're waiting for Luke?
Yes.
What I'm trying to find is I'm trying to find where in my notes the name is.
You're looking right-eyed. You're looking right-eyed.
Ooh, 21.
21. So while you're doing your triage and people are getting brought to you, there's now a wall of fighting going on just away from you in this strip of Market Street within the city wall. Both ends now. So these creatures are fighting at both ends, and you're kind of in the middle, boxed in.
Mel, where are
there's
your
still-
goddamn notes?
I was gonna say,
This is your bloody wall.
No name, no favour. You're in the middle of it now, Ruby. You're in potentially a very dangerous place with nowhere to go, but your healing is doing wonders. You're keeping people up. You're directing the druidic dwarves around you, really just on reflex rather than any strategy, and you're keeping people up and in the fight. Back to you, Castrion. Do you want me to tell you? It costs you a reroll.
I'm literally, I'm on my third, like,
hang on.
that I'm checking.
They're
In the
searching.
airplane, 1 second, air elemental.
They're searching.
I've got everybody else's name since the dawn of bloody time.
While they're still waiting, the dwarven woman who first helped me, as quietly as I can and in druidic, so
Danish?
Go on, Ruby. Sorry.
so as few people as possible understand,
You're right, man.
I ask if this is the point whether we should be considering starting an evacuation.
The dwarf turns to you with a small smile on her face and a look of, oh, and then she just looks at you. Dear, there's nowhere to evacuate to. And just sort of nods both down alleyways of the market where you're boxed in. So to evacuate, you need to hope that one of them wins.
Leave it with me. Back to the top of the wall now.
Back
we
to
have the name.
back to the top of the wall. Mel, are you going to tell him? Ah, there you go.
Got it!
I have literally every other NPC name written down since episode 1.
Alright,
I
then,
have-
what do you do?
Frustration, sorry. He is going to call upon Adonis of the Batar of Cerulean and say, I request your favour.
Cool. As you call that to the skies, you feel a strong breeze, your hair blowing back. And we'll come back to you. What are the rest of you doing?
I am looking for whatever is the closest thing in proximity to attack. I'm assuming it's the things down the wall.
There are stuff on the wall that you could rush out to, either towards the north, towards the south. Some of them are smaller demons, some of them are quite big, and then there is quite a lot of the bigger ones. You could basically swing at pretty much anything, or you could leap into the fray beneath you.
I mean,
So
that would be...
There was like a ramp down to Elva.
There's a ramp from Elva down to the floor.
Oh.
So to get to Elva, give me a perception check, Harry.
Well, I don't trust any of these dice now. Roll nice. No, you won't. 14.
You only needed a 10.
Okay.
Up on the wall, the doorway that Iona walked through, hanging on like a key peg, is a thin silver chain with your grandfather's wings.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Hint, hint. Hint, hint.
For Zandria, I'm just going to attack whatever is in close
So you summon the lance?
proximity. Yeah, at this point, if it's taken time for us to run from where we were up the wall, the lance would definitely have been summoned. So yeah, I'm gonna with the lance. I'm gonna.
Cool. Roll a d4.
D4.
I need to know what you hit.
Understand? One.
One.
Number 1.
Cool. Roll your attack.
Attack. Oh, 19.
19.
Yeah, 19 hit.
You step forward and 2 small imps just get squashed as a Balgura steps forward, which is a huge red-furred demonic ape-like creature with a blue face. And as it starts to slam its fists down, you lunge forward with your lance. Do your damage. It is covered in cuts and gashes and arrow holes.
Wonderful.
Arrow wounds.
You, and you. You are the ones I need. So that is 12 points of piercing damage and 6 points of flame damage. Oh, sorry, 8 points of flame damage.
As your lance bursts through it, the fire kind of singes at the fur a little bit, but not a lot. But the hole your lance leaves, as you pull back, the Balgura slides off and falls back dead. As more demons come flying at you, particular barbed demons, these long humanoid creatures just absolutely covered in spiked barbs and this moss green flesh and teeth all over the face. They step up to take the Balgura's place.
Okay. Second attack, anything that's in my way is getting... Yes. That is a 21 to hit.
21 hits. The first barb devil in front of you.
It's 11 and 6. So 11 PS and 6 fire.
You slide off its collarbone, tearing the flesh away from its shoulder. As the fire bursts from the lance, it just fizzles out on the demon itself. This isn't resistant to fire, it completely ignores it. But the lance blow across its shoulder struck it true. And you notice now that the creatures in front of you have been fighting so hard with the House of the Eagles that they ain't all up to scratch. And you reckon this will give you an advantage in this fight, knowing that they are not at full fighting capacity.
Cool.
Right.
I mean...
Ari, what are you doing? Sapphire, what are you doing? Ari first.
He's obviously seen the chain, he's obviously seen Elva, he's obviously seen the other thing, he's obviously seen Zandria. It's just a nice little choice for him as to where he wants to go.
I don't like multiple choice.
Yeah, it's great fun. He's gonna run, noticing that Zandria's back is unprotected, he's gonna run and like back to back with her. Just to make sure she doesn't get snuck up on from something behind her. And
As you do that, 2 creatures come over the side of the wall, thick, really like 6-inch claws in the hand, just literally sticking into the stone, pulling themselves up onto the wall, and encircle both of you. So you know are truly back to back. Do you attack?
Yep.
The two creatures are akin to the barbed devils, but they're smaller in stature, and they've got arrows
Attempt to
stuck in
attack.
them.
Ooh, that's a bit better. That is a 19 to attack.
19 hits.
That's me rolling a 10. Yay. I wouldn't get sneak, would I? It's surrounding me and stuff.
You're one-on-one with it,
Probably not. Oh yeah, true. Get in.
and you're a swashbuckler.
Yeah, that's cool.
Forget these things and I don't use it right, so. One of them just sneaking on the floor.
Zandria, you feel the presence of Harry. Rather than like back to back, you know Harry's got your back.
That is a 17 plus 6 damage.
17 plus 6, 23. 24.
Yep, can't add up.
23.
Can't add up.
What?
And
Yeah,
then he's gonna bonus action attack with his dagger. Try another dice.
So this small creature, your rapier goes straight through its eye and out the back of its skull. As you pull out, turn to the second one and swing with your dagger.
That is a maths. Why is it so hard? 22 to hit.
22 does it.
And that is D. Oh! Plus I can, if I hit, I can roll a D4 to heal myself. That is, it's 4 on that one. So that is 9 points of damage, and then I get 4 hit points back.
Because of the dagger.
The dagger. That is well needed right now. Yeah. Just gonna keep trying to fight him. Bless him. But he's gonna stay where he is. So that is his turn.
Cool. Sapphire, what are you doing? You've just seen Zandria and Ari go. Zandria goes flying in, piercing these creatures with a magical lance. Ari's gone skidding over, back to back, taking out 2 more of these spiked demons. Caspion's screaming to the skies. Adarnus, you big glowy bastard, you.
Am I able to get to where Zandria and...
Oh yeah, easily, mate.
Cool. In that case, I'll go in and I'll try and get a flanking position as well with them inside the circle, I guess.
So you're almost triangular as much as... Yep. So there are creatures, there are barbed devils, there are more Balgura coming towards you. You can hear just passively something coming up the wall. Like...
Whichever the thing is that Harry just injured, I'll go for that.
Cool.
I think Harry just killed one and injured one, right?
Killed one and then mortally wounded another, but not quite finished them.
I'm imagining Sapphire just like backhand swatting something off the wall.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
pimp slapping
kinda.
something.
I think because I think I'm going to bonus action unarmed strike it first, if it's that weak.
There you go.
So I'll go with that, and that is a 16 to hit.
16. 16 just hits.
Awesome. Okay, so for that one, 6 plus 4 is 10. I don't know why that took me so long to figure out. So 10 points of damage for that one.
Ari's dagger goes up through the jaw, comes out, Clara everywhere, as Sapphire sort of nimbly steps through the corpses over the Eagle Warriors and the demons, and just BANG! Straight on side of the temple, and you hit it. Sapphire hits the creature that fast that its head sort of snaps, and you hear the neck break, finishing it.
Awesome. And then
Bonks, man.
I guess I'll step to whatever the nearest thing is to me, then. I guess I'm
So
not
you
going to be...
step past Ari by
anymore.
about 5 feet to stand next to Zandria as you see that there's more demons in front of you. Again, Balgura and Barbed. You are aware that these creatures are quite powerful.
Which one's the bigger of the two? Bulgara, like the strongest of the two. I would know, I'd imagine.
Physically, the Bulgara.
Yeah.
Hurty, the Barb Devil.
Okay, I'll go for the Barb Devil then. Do I get my extra d6 from my two Naginata attacks?
You do, yeah, they are
I'm assuming
fiends.
these are fiends.
They are definitely fiends.
Okay, so...
And heavily wounded from the fight they're having on the wall.
Actually, Celestial.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're goblins.
It's a 22 for the first Naginata hit, and it's 17 for the second Naginata hit.
Oh, both hit.
Is 26 points of damage.
Damn. What was that on the Bulgara?
The Barb's Devil.
The Barb Devil. So yeah, as you step up, you do the quick punch, do a little side step, back step, and you're now level with Xandria, and your Naginata just spins out over her lance and takes out whatever was left of this Barb Devil. Now stood on Xandria's side, you see coming up the wall that you heard before, a creature that must be 12 feet if it was stood next to you. It's got a bald head, its skin is hanging off its skeleton down, its chest and bits of its round out its shoulder. You can see arms and faces sticking out as if it has just basically engulfed people while it run up there, and you can see the small tabards of the eagle just hanging out of bits of it. Its entire front of its torso is used for some sort of eating mechanism, and its eyes are super big and just lifeless as its claws are coming up. You reckon in the next 6-12 seconds it's going to be up on that wall with you. Straight out in front of you and Xandria can see, just beyond maybe 5 or 6 more demons, Bulgara and Barb Devil on the wall. You can see more and more Golden Eagles warriors fighting away, but you also see them with the Wizarding family and the Rangeresque families that you saw before. Arrows going off, magic's going off. It's all kicking off maybe 40 feet from you beyond this. They're fighting their own fight. Back around to you, Caspian. In fact, back around to you, Ruby. The defensive fighting that's gone on either side of you is now closer, as if the creatures themselves are pushing them back. You and the Druidic Dwarves are doing your best to triage. The Druids are now using their actual Druidic magic to heal the fighters, like, on the go.
The next person I get vaguely fight worthy, I tell them to head for the Lord's quarters. I tell them we need help. I can feel the wall shaking. I send for instructions, and we need to evacuate. We need something. If you can get through, bring back help, basically.
He looks up at you. He's a handsome middle-aged man with greying across the sideburns and a bit of a grey quiff in his hair. We all feel the walls shaking, my dear. But I will do as you ask. For I am the Kulai.
I'm going to be so bad.
Oh, he going down.
I am aware you are a friend of Aristotle, the little eagle.
I will be remembering that name.
Give him this for me, for I may not be able to give it him myself. And he just plants a cheeky kiss. Mwah!
Oh,
And then...
Ruby just sort of
What the
bounces
fuck?
back with the force, like,
yeah.
And then dashes into the fray, essentially, with his wooden sword. And he gets to the front,
Maniac.
and he just disappears into that throng of fighting. On the wall, Caspian! as like everyone's kicking off around you, this is the longest 6 seconds of my life. As everything's kicking off around you, you call out to the air. There is that rush of wind across you that you felt the last time you were taken against your will to the plains of air. You feel it again, that fresh, super freshness. All the air around you, the smell of the burnt air disappears, and there is nothing but fresh Highland air is the best way of describing it, or a cool desert wind. It is just perfect. Out in front of you, clouds start to form. Real puffy, fluffy, white marshmallow clouds just appear in front of you, about 25 feet across and a little bit ways back. You hear the sound of horses neighing, and then out of this cloud, sort of as if from, stage left, some horses come out, followed by ropes and a chariot. The horses are blue and white in colour. They've got long blue manes, the speckled grey and white of their hair. And on this chariot, the chariot itself has got a silver trim to all the whites and blues of the main body of the chariot. And stood in the chariot in full muscle caress, pauldrons, the Corinthian style helm, but with the featureless face of Adonis, the Batar of Seratura is there. He has a long spear and a shield on his back. You called.
You said in a time of need, you aid. This is a mighty time of need.
He looks around. What do you wish?
We need to stop them from breaking through this wall. And you gesture down towards where the wall is getting absolutely bodied by these.
Okay. 2 seconds.
I was just thinking it would be like, Caspian, you called, and Cass is just like,
Point.
gesture that way, everything behind
We've got a
me.
little something on our...
As you, there's a bit of a situation going on.
You just gestured to everything. Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Did I stutter?
He looks across to you from what you can feel from his featureless face. You wish my armies.
Yes.
The favour will be paid. And he just sort of turns and looks over his shoulder. Warriors of Gazar, to me! And he just plummets off the cloud chariot through the air, literally skirting the very air itself. From where he came, more and more chariots come rushing out, more and more horses on their own of that speckled grey and white hair with the long white blue manes, now being rowed by quite clearly air elementals of a similar dress to Adonis, as they all come flying out. Their look and aesthetic reminds me of Atoria and their muscle caresses and the domed helms. They come out with their shields and javelins, and they're just pouring out a cavalry of air elementals as these flying horses essentially just go down and swoop into the fray on the bottom. Some of them are scooching, that military term, scooching out across the lads, time to scooch! Across the wall.
Scooch until you see the white of their eyes.
But they're riding next to the wall, parallel to the wall, stabbing in at the demons all along the wall, riding across. A full air elemental army has appeared and is now engaged with the demons and taking the side of the humans of the House of Eagles and various others on there. Adonis himself is going straight for one of the large 20-foot draconic hammer-wielding lunatics. His chariot sort of widens as you see him go down, and the horses that are on the front seem to double, and like there is a mass of horse and chariot go down, and he's stood in the middle. He now looks bigger, whereas before when you first met him he was your size, maybe Sapphire's size, but now he looks huge. He V's out like the ultimate Dorito, and he starts flying in towards the one of these draconic hammer wielders. Zandria, two of the Balgura and the Barded Devils lunging at you. Both miss, because yay! As they come slashing in at you, you just sort of back and weave, and you bounce off the back of Harry. there is a large cracking noise, and you feel it rushing up the side of the wall. Over the top comes that creature with its chest cavity open. Some still living, others clearly dead, just hanging about outside of this rib cage, the collarbone, just staring at its jaw down, and just like, and then the wall shifts. So the bit you're stood on kind of remains, but the wall just ahead of you shifts slightly, as if the cracks come all the way up and shift slightly. And we're going to take a break. Right, so I really need a break. I really need to go for a wee. So stick around, guys. We're going to have a quick 10-minute break. I just need to go to the toilet and get a drink, and then we'll carry on this talkie encounter.
Whatever the bloody hell's going on here.
Right. Break time.
Break time.
Boom, we're back, I think. Hopefully you can all hear us. And welcome back, part 2. This sort of on the wall. Demons are attacking it. They're draconic demons. I know I'm loud, alright? I like being loud. Divorce me, I dare you. Not yet though, I've got stuff to do. Draconic demons are attacking the wall. The House of Eagles are defending it. The demons have managed to infiltrate the inner workings of the wall and are fighting on the inside. The wonderful Ruby is triaging in the wall, trying to keep alive as many as she can, whilst the demons are attacking inside. She has asked one of the lovely warriors of the House of Eagles to go get more help. On top of the wall, you've got, again, more of the draconic demons smashing the crap out of the wall, but this lot have gone to the top and are fighting back. You have Xandria, Sapphire and Ari fighting some Balgura and Barbed Devils and smaller imps. They are now facing a creature that Sapphire knows to be called a Devourer, which encompasses its victims, well, at least half. Kesvion has called in the favour with Adarnus, the air elemental warrior, one of the Batar, for the last time when they returned the Horn of the Yamar to the air elementals. A favour was given, and Kesvion has called it in. Adarnus has brought his air elemental army to the aid of the Ivory Wall, and now there is quite a cluster fudge of battle going on the wall, in the wall, and at the bottom of the wall. Just before the break, there was a crack and a shift in the top layer of the wall where you all are. As that crack and shift happens, the screeching, piercing, painful cry of a draconic creature bursts forth almost from the crack in the wall itself, and again blasts across you all. Can you all give me a wisdom saving throw, please, including you, Ruby?
Yep.
As you see the same sort of symptoms in everyone, whether it be demon, human, whatever's on there. Kesvion. DC slightly higher because it's a more painful screech. What did you get, Kes? Oh dear. Oh.
We still have 2 rerolls.
You still have 2 rerolls. What did you get, Ruby? 22. Sapphire?
21.
Nice. Ari?
Natural 20.
Nice.
Xandria?
30-20.
30-20. Kesvion?
21 that
Oh.
time round.
There we go.
As the screech happens, what you notice is last time there were just soldiers and demons just grabbing their ears, those that appear to not be as strong-willed as yourselves. This time, those that are not as strong to resist this painful cry, blood, or at least what is called blood in some of the fiends, pours from the ears and the nose and the eyes, as they just cannot stand to be in the presence of this draconic screech of pain bursting from the wall itself. The air elementals are unhindered, like they care not for sounds on the wind. But it does give them a massive advantage that they start sweeping across the top of the wall itself. Looking out, Kes, you notice that Adarnus is now fully engaged. He's come off the chariot, and the chariot itself is now riding around the bottom, and he's now just riding into the creatures that are attacking the wall. Whereas Adarnus is almost the same size as this 20-foot draconic demon with a sledgehammer, and he's fighting it with his shield and short sword. Although from it's probably quite big up close, but it's a short sword in design. Back on top of the wall, Xandria, what do you do as this devourer creature comes over the side?
You said it's got like an open mouth, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I would like to shoot a spell into it. I would like to Eldritch Blast into its mouth.
Boom, you Eldritch Blast into its mouth. Give me an attack roll.
Ooh, got 19.
19 hits. Lance in hand, you turn, boom, Eldritch Blast erupts from Xandria straight into the mouth of this devourer.
18 points of force damage, and it gets pushed away. Where are you? 10 feet. In a straight line.
As it comes over the top, and it gets Eldritch Blast as it's going... It goes back off the wall.
Goodbye!
You can hear the scraping of stone on claw as it is trying to take purchase, as it is just falling now free.
Yeah.
Ari, Sapphire, what are you doing?
There's some nasties in front of me.
There is some nasties in front of you. Some of them are clutching at their faces, trying to stop the pain and bleeding. A few of the Eagle Warriors are doing the same, but there are others that have resisted it. Whereas the Air Elementals, you can now see involved, their muscle caresses and shields and short swords, just stabbing away into these demonic creatures, these draconic demon creatures on the wall itself. The shift in the wall, getting over the surprise of the wall actually having a crack in it, hasn't fallen away, it's just shifted ever so slightly.
Take my action to see to do a perception check and see Elva.
You can.
Oh, that's pretty nice. I'd have to roll nice on the perception, geez. That's 24.
Not only do you see Elva, but you see Elva like she's doing a fighting retreat. You recognise it straight away. The rainbow demons, these colourful, chaotic little bastards that are attacking Elva and her unit, are pushing her back to the wall. Like it's not like the Eagle Warriors are just falling left, right, and centre. They're holding their own, but they're doing so because they're retreating back. They're heading their way back to the gatehouse that would lead deeper into the wall.
Okay. He's pretty confident that she's probably got that then. She's not like she was before where she was getting overrun. So I guess that's his action. He's gonna stay where he is.
Sapphire?
Are there any, like, I know there's a lot of things happening. Are there any nicely grouped enemies?
Yeah, they're on the wall, mate. Like, there's several. There's obviously a House of Eagles warriors in with them, but there are clusters of fights. You're gonna fund this. It definitely clear the wall.
No, I was calculating for turning into a big monstery thing and doing a breath weapon.
Oh.
I'm going to use. Sapphire's going to use his function to rage.
Okay.
And then he's going to tug on the bit of hair from his hair and polymorph into a giant runic bear.
You see the blonde druidic rune bear appear on the wall. And a bit of a...
Yep, and just flexes its muscles, locks eyes on the fiendish creatures, and that's going to be my turn.
Alright, I was going to say, you're going to breathe across the wall. I'm like, damn!
No, sadly, I think the transformation is my main action, so that would be my turn.
Yeah. There's Xandria, you've just like told the horrific devourer to get off the wall with an Eldritch Blast. That is shocking. Ari, you look down, you see that. Kess, what are you doing
Um,
since summoning said favour?
it looks like Adonis has kind of got that bit in hand-ish. So, or at least not in any way that I can really assist. So I am going to head down to where the rest of them are and try and help beat back the...
You go rushing past. There are Barb Devils and Balgura on the wall, heavily wounded from the fighting. You see these
I'm just
wounds
going to take
are...
a shot at anything
Cool.
as I pass.
Go swinging in.
and I'll go towards it.
Give me an attack roll.
That is... Sorry, just get my plus back up because I was taking notes. So that is 23 to hit.
Oh yeah.
And that is that's 6 points of damage.
Cool. Second attack.
That is... God, I need to get better at math. And that's 21 to hit.
Yeah.
And that is 8 points of damage. And that is 24, which is another 8.
Alright. So the first creature you come in, your blades just cut through the Balgura's flesh, finishing it off. As you can see, 2 long swords protruding into its back, and the points nearly to you from 2 golden eagle soldiers on the other side. And you basically aided them getting their arms ripped off by this thing. As you are all swinging in, changing into bears, Eldritch blasting the Devourer, you see Celestina fly high, golden brown wings out beneath, doing one of those little show-off twirls as she takes up to the sky and just spreads them, and is just looking down on everything. She sees you lot and she flies down and lands to the point where at the point where the rooms where the residency bits were for the eagles, where the eagles' nest are, on that main plateau bit. Plateau? That main bit for yourselves. Plateau. And just calls across to you. Aristotle? A word?
I got your necklace.
He'll go across to her, yeah.
As you go across, you know more demons like thicken around Sapphire and Xandria and Kesfion, but you can see them lance, blade and bear ready to fight. You go rushing off to Celestina. She's clearly cut and wounded, but she still has her charming smile. The small scars around her eyes just kind of accent her charm, and her long blonde hair is just flowing. It's almost cinematic, like you swear blind she's using magic to do it. Her great sword, despite the amount of use it's had, perfectly clean, not a speck on it. And she just puts it on her back, and it almost sticks to her back like a magnet rather than sheath. And she just puts it on her back. Her wings sort of fold in, but don't quite go away. I need some volunteers.
Okay.
We need to leave the wall. We need to now go beneath the wall.
Okay. You want some help?
Well, yes. You know the stories around the dragon soul being used for the wall and such? There is a high possibility that they are true, and the soul of the dragon is trying to leave the wall. If the soul of the dragon leaves the wall, we have no wall. No wall, no Ravenholm. You understand?
I understand, yeah.
I need 4 to 5 helpful idiots. No self-preservation things.
That sounds like us.
It's not quite a tavern, the village is on fire. But well, you know.
Would you know anyone?
I could send others in your place, Aristotle, but well, you are an eagle, and I can't get to Elva, and I can't get to Iona, and your father said to speak to you.
father do?
Well, yes.
Okay. Yeah, sure. He'll run back over to the others.
You just see Celestina like, okay, no details. Okay.
He's gonna go and get the others before he comes back.
You go rushing over. I need more attacks out of Sapphire, Kesvion, and Xandria.
Cool. I'm just gonna lean over the wall and look at the thing that was trying to climb up and just hit it again with another Eldritch Blast.
Cool. Give me an attack roll.
Try and drop a couple of long bow shots into it.
Oh, now we've remembered the longbow. We're going to use it all the time.
22.
Look,
22
just
hits.
you.
Your Eldritch Blast does some damage and will force the thing another 10 feet down the wall. You see the gashes in the stonework. Give me a perception check, Xandria.
Perception. I'm rife with perception. I'm rife with perceptions. 22.
The gashes in the wall where the creature's sliding down are repairing, healing. But as soon as the mark's been left,
Self-fixing.
the stone is smooth.
Wonderful.
Sapphire, you've got Balgura bearing down on your bear.
Then Sapphire's going to turn to face the bugger and hit it with all three of his limbs, I guess. Claw, head, tail, boom.
Those three main limbs on the bear.
Yeah.
I'm just loving the idea that you've just Zinedine Zidane to this demon.
17,
Flying head
17, 16.
Say again.
17, 17, 16.
All hit.
Oh.
But
Okay.
16 just.
Okay, that's good to know. 12, 22, 29, 30, 42
Boom.
points of
You
damage.
tear into this Balgura as it just leaps into you and is trying to basically alpha you into the ground, and you return with your own alpha mentality. And Sapphire, whilst focused raged in the bear form of Kalin, rips this Balgura apart.
Oh, awesome. I was going to say, I forgot the rage bit. I would have added 2 for each of those things. Anyway, yes, that's cool.
It's
Awesome.
done the job. Gasfield?
Yeah, I'm happy
That's-
now. No, that's I was like, an extra 6 damage. Yeah, that's fine.
You got a barbed devil in front of you. This is you, Cass. This is you, Cass.
Okay, cool. I
Just while
wasn't
Sapphire
sure
is.
where I was or what I was doing. Sorry. I'm gonna stab it. So that is 18 to hit,
18 hit.
which is 6. Why not? We'll throw another superiority dice on it. So that is 6 plus 8 is 14.
14 points of damage.
Yep. Next one is 21 to hit.
Yep.
Which is, let's use some dice with easy numbers on it because we're an idiot. That is 8 points of damage. Last one is 18 plus 6 is 24. Which is 8 points of damage.
As you slash into it, spinning your scimitars, you just take both its arms off and take its throat. And then Ari comes running over to you, Free. Before Ari gets to say anything, Ruby, they're right on top of you now. They're literally this little alcove of Market Square where you are. Those that are helping you heal, the druidic dwarves, are in front of you, and they're now just throwing magics into these white, pale, ashen, draconic demons that were originally came into the thing, and they're pushing the soldiers back towards you. They're right on top of you. Can I have a wisdom save, please, as a magical spell is cast across the lot of you with a charming effect?
That's a sigh of relief. That is 23.
20 what?
3.
Oh, Jesus. As this,
Saves.
you feel it in the air, this charming, this enchantment magic. It hasn't come from the 2 pale draconic demons, but it's definitely present. And you see some of the soldiers just sort of stop, and their swords or weapons just sort of drop low. The rest of them are like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And they're still fighting against these couple of creatures, these pale demons. Those that are being healed in front of you, those that are conscious, that are kind of staring up, kind of at you but past you in that charmed state, whereas you feel that pull on your mind and you shake it off. You hear the sound of heavy boots, metal on stone and wood, as you sort of look through the gaps, and you can see a cluster of soldiers running towards where you guys are, led by the soldier that you saw on the bridge that kind of double take to Harry in full kit, the really tall might, and the middle-aged Fantonio that gave you a kiss, and they're running up towards basically to smash into this creature. Harry, over to you.
We kind of reach the group and just be like, Celestina, lady over there, someone else in charge, need some help with, do you remember the stories of Natasha?
Big dragon, probably soul on the wall, rumble in the woods, yeah?
Yeah, apparently the solar dragon's trying to leave the wall. We kind of need to keep them here. We need some volunteers to go with her underneath the wall.
I guess that's us.
Guess so. How far away is Ruby? Obviously she's inside the wall. But is
Ruby's
she...
a good distance inside the wall.
Yeah.
But she is below you, and if you're going down anyway.
It'd take you about 15 minutes run to get to her.
That's what I mean. I'm like, she's too far for message.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Far too far for message. Yeah, it'll kind of like grab the others obviously and kind of go back to Celestina because they didn't really want to have the.
What's the range of message?
120 feet.
Do you have to see
I
him?
suppose it depends on what it is.
Yeah, do you have to see him?
No, not if you know the purse. Is it range of sight? I don't know.
I think I ask this every time.
Point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message.
Yeah, you can't point at
You
Ruby.
can cast this spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it's beyond the barrier.
Give me an Arcana check.
Come on, Ari, you're the only person with any level of intelligence.
Not an arcana, mate. Not an arcana. That's a 12.
12?
Yes.
She might be in range.
Boys. He's going to cast message then. We're going to attempt to cast message.
You focus on Ruby and you cast message. What do you say?
He's just kind of like, Ruby, when needed on top of the wall, can you get up to us?
Ruby, you hear that message in your mind. I got an 11.
Just.
Ruby's not having a good day, especially since she felt the wall shift, because as far as she's concerned, what you're standing on shouldn't move. So the voice that comes back to you is less the self-assured, don't talk nonsense. You're hearing a scared teenager. I can't. We're backed in. I can't.
He'll message again and just be like, can you get some soldiers to help you come up?
There are some. I think there are some. We're surrounded. I think.
Suck it up, get up here.
So what do you do? What are you lot on the wall doing?
Nothing, because we can't hear this conversation.
No,
We're just standing here like, we're going in the wall, we saved the dragon soul.
literally just continuing to fight until told otherwise.
Yeah.
Ari, what are you doing?
Same.
How do the air elementals look like? How's that
we're getting to that.
shit going?
Ari kind of like looks around and goes, "Ruby can't come out. She's too scared to." Ruby can't
Then we
come out
get
to
her on the
mum's
way then. Where are we going?
Right, it'll be like grab you lot and kind of go over towards Celestina at least anyway, so you can understand the details.
That seems easy.
As you get over to Celestina, you see her just moving around about her, and a pale white light is just radiating where her hand sort of follows her fingers. And you see some of the wounds on her neck and such to start to heal. Well, hello all.
We
Wow.
have another member of our party inside. She was helping to heal.
Oh, there's plenty of fighting inside as well. I hope she's safe.
They're surrounded.
Yeah.
Well, Ari, you know the way. Sorry, Lord Ari. You know the way. I will leave it with you to save your friend, but I, however, have to save the first eagle as she's in a bit of a pickle. And Celestina just leaps off the wall again, wings, and just scoops down, blonde hair flowing, definitely cheating.
As Celestine leaps off the wall with her wings and just flies off,
You elders master.
Xandria's just gonna watch her and just go, God, I wish I had wings.
As if 2 seasons isn't enough.
No, I want all the
I want
seasons
all the
of power
tides.
flight.
Get Ruby to cast polymorph on you.
Giant nodding bear.
Nodding bear,
Grab a
nodding.
certain
Right, we
record.
need to go get Ruby.
Yeah,
And
let's
then
go get Ruby
apparently
then.
you know where we're going, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Ari obviously apparently knows where he's going.
You know the way to Ruby. Anything else, there's, you know, you can wing it all you want. That was the point Celestina was making, is you know your way to your friend.
You can make your own way.
So,
I thought that she said that. So,
She wants us to go underneath.
she wants you to go underneath the wall,
right.
but when she said you know the way, she was insinuating to your friend.
Yeah,
Right,
not how to get down to the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was like so confused.
Yeah.
So essentially, we need to go get Ruby and then go back up.
You need to regroup and then
Yeah.
discover. As you are about to all finish disappearing down the way, you won't fit down there, Sapphire, in bear form.
I mean, Sapphire could just stay here, I guess.
Hey, there's a new hole in the wall. Sapphire.
Let's not-
Sapphire, what are you doing, Sapphire?
Until he is told to not fight, he's going to keep fighting.
Well, they're all about to head downstairs, and you won't fit down there in bear form. Or you can stay on the wall.
He will make his last attacks and then he'll transform back into himself, I guess. Or is it going to take an action? I don't know how turning from a bear back into.
You'll be fine. So Sapphire starts wading into some Bulgura necks not far from where you are, while you all go down, about to head downstairs. As you're about to head downstairs, Sapphire notices, finishes ripping the head off one of the Bulgura, and then takes form again as Sapphire, the white line tabaxi, and rushes over to you lot. As you are popping off down there, you just hear a familiar voice. Guess beyond summer breeze. And Adarnus is now up with you, and he's kind of just floating off the edge of the wall. This battle is eternal. The favour is not. We are only here for a limited time. Name that time. 20 minutes, half hour.
You busy till Tuesday?
Or centuries.
Whispers the
It's
giant
difficult in
rat.
D&D to understand what a good measurement of time for certain
Yeah.
things is.
Especially to an air
Then
element.
let Kesfion answer.
Yeah, let's ask the Fae who also doesn't have a concept of time.
That's you the question.
What time of day is it?
What time of day is it? It is just before midday.
I don't want to ask for more than you can give, but if you can keep us till midnight.
The time will be honoured.
Thank you.
And he just rushes back into the fray. Boom! You go downstairs, you rush downstairs, the sound of the fighting on top gets dulled as you go deeper and deeper down the stairway, back into the noble family residence and the hallway. There's still soldiers rushing backwards and forwards. You can see dead, injured, being treated, small skirmishes all going in and around and as far back into the wall as you can't see. You go rushing back to where you left Ruby, where that initial fight was. Ahead of you, you can see quite a decent unit of soldiers led by whoever, you can't see the front, smashing into the back of one of these white pale ashen demons, and just it gets obliterated in this blender of eagle warriors and such. Ruby, you see on the other side in your little triage area the last couple of soldiers literally just swinging blindly, heavily wounded. All the druid dwarves around you have used all their magics on them, keeping them up. The one on the far side has been slain, but this other one's pushing through until you see the tall life guard and Kissy McKissy. They just wade into and finish this this pale ashened demon. And for right now, there is no immediate threat around you. And the unit of soldiers that have turned up immediately go to work getting those people up that you've helped, moving the people that have died and unfortunately haven't been able to be helped, and then sorting out some of the injured. There is the tall guard that is clearly leading this unit. Is giving out orders for them to move on and start moving through the wall and just collecting people as they go to make their force bigger. But they're also speaking of once it gets to a certain size, they'll start splitting off and skirmishing through the wall, because a queue of soldiers is no good. They need to be able to fight usefully and efficiently. You lot run up and catch up to this grouping. You kind of push your way through. Ruby, do you want to interact before your pals turn up?
Ruby will probably still try to scramble to help anyone immediately bleeding before her.
Give me a
I
medicine
would
check.
have messaged you as well to say we're on our way. Stay where you are, kind of thing.
Okay.
So new medicine check. Yeah, that's a total of 6.
Unfortunately, the person you're treating in front of you has already passed on, and despite your best efforts, you still try beyond death. They were dead when they got brought to you, but you put your effort in anyway. And then you notice your lot turn up and start pushing through the crowds.
I glance up at them, but I'm still clearly I'm looking for direction at this point. Ruby's looking to be told what to do. She's run out of whatever it is that lets you see what needs to be done and tell other people to do it, and she's just looking for any kind of instruction or.
Harry kind of meets her eyes, puts a hand on her shoulder. And she's
Ruby is surrounded by the aftermath of a combat triage.
She's just like, there's nothing more we can do here. Celestina has asked us to go and speak with Natasha. It's self-dragon.
Okay.
Fine. After that.
Celestina is here, and you turn and the tall lifeguard, tall live, he's just there with it.
Just Baywatch.
He just starts running in slow motion up and down the corridor. Just like,
Man,
do you see that?
does he look like Hasselhoff?
He does now.
Well,
His shield turns into a bright orange. Chuffing. The tall leader of this unit turns to you as he says Celestina and turns to see you. Right, Harry. What did you say?
Whatever his name is, I can't remember it.
I was like, that is not. Is that you were like, oh,
Also choking here.
drop that.
Die.
Stop trying to make me.
He takes his helmet off and he's kept his hair real short. Clearly 10 years older than the last time you've seen him. Let me know when you can breathe again. But you see the very familiar face of Gothard.
I was trying to think of it. It was like starts with G. It's not that one. Yeah, he'll kind of be like, "Gosh, nice to see you."
And you? What are you doing here? I thought you left. Anyway,
Did.
enough of that. Celestina's asked you to do what?
Dragon in the wall.
Yeah.
Gotta go now. And Kess is just gonna like herd Ruby, grab like the corner of Ari,
Like, as Ruby's dragged away, she points at Fantonio and is like, "You can pass it on yourself and risk a wrath."
Nikolai Dalka, aka Fantonio.
That's Fantasy Antonio for everyone who missed the pre-game conversation this evening.
He's talking to a couple of soldiers that are backs against the wall, sat down, more wounded from fatigue than they are fighting combat wounds. And as you point and shout that to him, he turns, flicks his hair, and starts walking towards you. He drops to a knee, does the long flourish again, and stands. What?
Kiss him yourself and risk a wrath, because I'm not gonna risk a wrath.
You do not tell somebody of the gift. It is a surprise. Oh, it is ruined now, Ari, my little ego. Mwah. Oh, hello. How are you? And he just starts looking at you all. Mighty. And he slaps Sapphire's shoulder. Spins his wooden sword and sheathed it.
Sapphire literally just looks at his shoulder, looks back at the dude, and looks slowly to Ari. Like, quick, tell me who this is.
Who is this man?
Well done, Ari.
in the wall. Just
Ari knows not to speak with his mouth full.
He's too polite. Too polite.
Or too busy.
He'll kind of
dragon in the wall.
Let's just be like dragon in the wall.
One hand pushing
Don't
Ruby
you want to
ahead,
know?
the other like held to Ari's scruff, be like, guys, situational awareness.
Gothard looks
So you're
at
just
Kesfion.
standing beside Kes, just like.
Gothard looks at Kesfion, hears the words of wisdom. Your friend has a point. Celestina said, what about a dragon in the wall?
She needs some help. The silver dragon is trying to leave the wall.
You mean Natasha? Well, follow me, little eagle. And he just starts walking off, back in the direction you guys first came.
He'll kind of look round at the guys and go, I guess we're following Nikolai.
Kess is like, fuck it, whatever.
I don't care.
Harry, Gothard shouts across to you.
Yeah.
Good seeing you. Stay safe.
You too.
And he just turns back to his soldiers. You all follow Nikolai?
I guess so.
Definitely, yes.
Fuck him,
Ruby's
what?
cloak is still in Caspian's fist, I think, so
So she's
I
just
guess
going by proxy.
Nikolai he's got his back to you, just ignoring you, and he starts singing. And he's singing in Ravenholm language, so even though it's common, you don't really understand it. But it's clearly a joyful song. Every now and then, you may recognise some of the words referring to wine, a midnight moon, stuff like this, as he's singing this song. He doesn't look back, and he dances his way, sometimes stepping over crates, sometimes just doing a little twirl and giving a wink back at you lot, to anyone who sees the wink. Within about 15 minutes, you know you're going like further down into the wall itself. There's still battle going off around you, and Nikolai is doing a great job of avoiding those battles as he's moving around behind market stalls and such in a very fluid, unstopped, he doesn't stop sort of movement. You go deeper and deeper into the wall as the sound of battle. There we go. As the sound of battle dims above your heads, you now realise that you are deep, deep into the wall. Nikolai walks for about half an hour. Not a single word does he pass back to you. Just focusing, getting to a couple of dead ends, and turning around and going back down. The temperature down here is real cold. And you notice now that there's less and less market stalls and abodes carved into the wall. You're into the foundations of the wall now. As you start looking around, he gets to a door that is a single person wide and just a bit shorter than you, Harry. All on the, you'll recognise this immediately, Ruby, all on the door are these strange glyphs and patterns that have been carved into this thick wooden door, and they are druidic. When he gets there, you see him take the wooden sword and place it against the door, and it becomes one with the door. The druidic glyphs on the door glow, they got a jade green to them, they dull, and the door just slightly goes ajar. He pushes open the door. There is a fresh, natural, almost glade-like smell that comes up the corridor of this stone, past this doorway through this stonework. As he puts his hand on the right-hand side, stepping through, you notice more of these druidic glyphs just light up down the tunnel, and the tunnel sort of does this, a bit like a water slide going down. You see it sort of dip, and a bit more dip. Not too far, maybe 40 feet. And then it spreads out, and the floor itself, a bit like a web, just sort of goes, and you see these tendrils of light, this jade green light, more druidic glyphs sort of go and then fade. The way to the dragon, little eagle.
I'll kind of smile, nod, and kind of be like, thank you.
The eagle never has to thank, and he does a big flourish and bow.
Kind of shake his head and just be like, you know you don't need to do that.
It is etiquette. And when you return, little eagle, we shall dance, and I shall no longer bow to you. Deal?
Deal.
Now, I won't be going with you, because I am not insane. Beware, for the stories of the dragon are true, and she will not dance with anyone. He steps real close to you, Harry. Know this, Harry. If her soul is not kept bound, the wall shall fall. Or you can free her and save a dragon. And what a fine song and dance that would be. Nice sword. Nice tush. Goodbye. Ha ha! And he just sets off up the thing. And he just grabs a random sword off a market table and just starts climbing bits of the wall to go further up, as if seeking combat. And Nikolai Dalka is away into the wall. Before you is a stone tunnel recently lit up by druidic glyphs. It is dark enough that you can't see everything, but light enough that you find your footing safely to walk down into the flat bit of stone that you saw at the bottom of this almost helter-skelter tunnel. Before you enter, we're going to call the session there, as it is 10 to 11. And my God, I need to breathe.
Oh, I think I have a new favourite NPC.
So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit more energetic than some of the last couple where they've been all talky smoothie. If you did enjoy it, please tell lots of people about it. The more and more that come and watch and join in and heckle is amazing. It's so cool that we've had a little community build up over the last year nearly. I'm pretty sure it's only a week or two out and we've been going a year. So thank you very much for that. What a community being a geek is. I love it. I love D&D. I love rolling dice. I love telling stories and having my pals tell stories with me. So thank you for tuning in and listening, whether it be watching it on Twitch live or afterwards or YouTube or wherever. Thank you very much. Thank you to our sponsors, Loki Battle Marts, Coyote Grey, Ruffworx Creative and Ashana. I'm assuming Ashana's streaming now?
She's not.
She's not?
No.
Well, God damn. Well, we won't be raiding Ashana. But I'll have a cheeky look to see who else we can raid. There's got to be some other geeks on here.
There are lots of geeks, it's whether or not you follow them.
Dice of the Beholder, who normally stream on a Sunday on here, are on, so we could raid them.
Go send us to,
Yes!
to the world.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Everyone.
Let's mute that. Crap almighty. Right, so. Again, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed yourselves. We're all going to get off now and probably go say hello to Dice of the Beholder before hitting the hay. Thank you very much. For now, say goodbye, players.
Goodbye, players.
Players.